which we are going to do is open up any web browser which you have on your device. It could either be Chrome, it could be Mozilla Firefox, and you can also use Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to open up Google Chrome on my device. As you can see on my screen that I have Google Chrome opened up. Now in Google Chrome, what we're going to do is going to be searching for python.org, which is going to be the official site of Python. So search for Python. I'll just search for Python. And the first link which opens up is python.org. So click on that site. You can see I've already opened it up. And this is how the website is going to be looking like. Now you can see about the abouts of Python. And we also have PSF, doc, PyP, PyPL, or let's say jobs community, and also about the documentation community and all of those. So what you basically have to do is just click on downloads. And when you click on downloads, you will basically see this type of interface opens up. Now, if you have already used Python, or if you already downloaded it once, you can try using that. But one thing which I would say that if you already have Python downloaded on your device, make sure that it is on 3, okay, which is the version 3. Now, on an older version of Python, it could also run on point 2. Now, one thing about point 2 is that it is very basic. Now, one thing which you will face over there is that it's going to be very basic and it's going to be running quite good. But there's going to be a lot of bugs. There's going to be no updates and all because Python 3.12 or 3.6, those are the one which are being updated and upgraded like gradually. Okay, so try to use the latest version. As you can see, we have Python 3.12.4. Now, in some cases or in some of the websites or in some time, you'll basically see there's going to be 2 versions. It could either be 2.4 or it could be 3.12. So always make sure that if you're new to Python, make sure to download the latest one because obviously it's going to have a lot more newer features and a lot more bug fixes, okay? And a lot more stability and functionality added with it. So click on this download Python 3.12.4. And another thing is that make sure to download it for Windows or whichever device you have or whichever OS you have. If you have it for Mac, you can click on Mac. If you want it for Linux, make sure to click on that. And if you have other OSs, just click on others and it's going to just take you or redirect you to the site or the page where you will be able to download it up. Okay, so I'm going to click on this download Python 3.12.4 and always make sure that you are connected to the internet and you can see this is being downloaded. And after this is going to be downloaded, we're going to install it up. But before that, we have to also download an IDE, which is basically a code runner. Now, there are a lot of code runners on the website and right now, which is running live. Okay. So from that, or among all of them in this course, we are going to be using PyCharm. Now, one thing I would say is that why are we going to use PyCharm? Now, the PyCharm runs Python very well and it is very good for both professionals and also amateurs at the same time. So make sure to try use PyCharm, or if you are also like familiar with the other ones such as Visual Studio Code and C++, you can try using that. It's also totally fine. So I'm going to click on this at another tab and I'm going to search for PyCharm. Click on PyCharm and you can see PyCharm, the Python IDE for data science. Just click on this download button or you can click on the first link and it will basically take you to this first site. Now, this is how the site will look like. And from here, you have this option called download. Now click on this download button and it might take you off to another page where it's going to tell you to either download PyCharm for professional or is it going to be for the community. So you can try this PyCharm professional, but I don't want that. So what you're basically going to do is click on this and click on download over here. And you have this option over here, but you can also just go back on the pycharm.com and over here you will basically find another option which is going to be for the community, which is basically free. So try using the free version of PyCharm, and even if you cannot find it, then just try using another one. It's also totally fine. But if you still want to use PyCharm, what you're going to basically do is PyCharm community download click on that, and you have this option over here. How can I download an old version? So click on this other versions or click on download PyCharm. Other versions, just click on that and wait for a bit until like another like part of it opens up, and you can see this is how it's going to look. Okay, so there we go. We have for Linux, Windows, and all of them. And make sure to select up this one, 2024 1.3 windows.exe, which is for me. But if you have a Mac OS or a Linux, you can try using them too, but always make sure that it is the newest version available. So I'm going to click on this button over here, Windows EXE, and then just wait for a bit until this starts downloading. And you can see that this has already started downloading. And then after all of it is downloaded, just make sure to install it up on your device. So I'm going to wait for a bit until this is downloaded, and I'm going to show you how you'll be able to install them on your device. So as you can see that both of my commands or both of these applications have been downloaded. So what I'm going to be doing is going to go in off to that file. I'm going to open them up. There we go. We have two of these files over here. We're going to install them one by one, which is one of the most important thing. So you can see when you click on this Python option or this software or this application, you'll basically see this is the type of interface which opens up on my device. Now from here, what you're going to do is do not do anything. Just click on install now. Click on that and it will take just a bit of time to install it on your device. And it's also going to analyze your device if it is a 64-bit device or is it a 32-bit. So as you can see that as I have a 64-bit device, and this is how it is installing. And we can also see the version, which is 3.12.4. So make sure to install it just the way the way I did it. If you have a Mac OS, it's going to be a lot more easier. You're just going to install it. It's just going to show you this type of interface, and you're going to install it anyways. And after this will be installed, now you can see this is going to be launched on my device. So after this is done, we're also going to install PyCharm on our device, and we're going to show you about the preferences and how you are going to open up Python and work with it. So I'm going to close this off, and the next one is double click on. And I'm also going to be waiting for just a bit until another platform like this opens up. So I'm going to click on this next and make sure to select up where you want to save it, like save it on your device. Click on next again. And I'm also going to be opening up or creating myself a desktop shortcut so that I can see it. And I'm also going to make sure to update path variable if you have like extra files or if you're going to work on different projects. So I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to just click on this one, and you can also add open file or open folder as project too. You can also turn that on. And I'm going to click on this one too, .py create association. If you want to do that, it's basically up to you. But if you don't want that, it's also totally fine. You have to basically just do it individually. So I'm going to click on both of them, make sure both of them are checked, and press on next, and then just click on install. Now it's going to take a bit of time to install these up to, you can see this is extracting. It's going to extract a lot of these files and a lot of the data. Just make sure that you are connected to the internet most of the time whenever you are working or whenever you are installing any of these IDEs and also Python, okay? Because it also takes a bit of that internet data or the data online and installs it up on your device, because not all of the data is going to be on your extraction file. You can see now this is extracting very fast. You can also click on show details to check up what is being extracted. You can see that this is going on very fast. So after this will be downloaded, we're also going to open up PyCharm on our device and show you about the preferences. And now you can see this is almost at the ends of the modules. So after this is done, let's just open up PyCharm on our device. So I'm going to just press on Run PyCharm Community Edition. So click on Finish, and then you can see screen reader detected. You want to enable screen reader support in PyCharm. Just click on Enable, and it will take just a bit of time, and you can see this agreement which you have to click on and continue. You can see it's anonymous. I'm going to click on Don't Share, and then wait for a bit until this type of interface opens up on my device. I'm just going to close off Google Chrome for this one. And you can see this is basically how it looks like. It looks totally different from a Mac OS, but make sure to keep this thing in mind. First thing you're going to do is click on this customize option, and you're going to be able to fix the theme, the color over here. You can see we have dark. If you are on an older version of Python, you'll basically see it's called Darkula. Make sure to select that for a dark theme. Well, I just like dark theme because it's just looks a lot more comfortable to my eye. But if you want to use the white one, it's also totally up to you. Then we have is the IDE font. I'm going to keep it 13, which is also totally perfect. And then you can also adjust color for red, green vision deficiency. This is going to be for the people who have like color blindness issues. You can turn them on and off whenever you want to, but I'm going to keep it turned off. And you're going to do is going to be syncing with it with the OS. Make sure to sync it. Okay. You can turn it off and on anytime you want. So I'm going to turn this on. And then we have the key mapping, which is going to be for our Windows. You can also turn on Emac if you want to, if you want like a simulator for your Mac, but I'm going to keep it on Windows. And we have all settings over here. You can click on that. So first thing, we have the appearance, and then we have new UI. Turn on enable new UI, requires restart, but you're going to just turn it on or keep it turned on because it is already applied to it. Then we also have the show tool Windows names. You can turn it off and on. And if you have an or like a low end device or a medium end device, it's not basically a medium end. It's basically for a low end device. It's just turn on compact mode. The UI elements is going to take less screen space, and it's also going to take less pressure on your CPU. And also it's going to keep less processes on your threads. And we have menus and toolbar. You can fix them up. Now, one thing which you're going to do is just go off to advanced settings and always turn on show only line bookmarks in pop-up. It just allows you to find out where your files are, and it's just more comfortable for you to find it. And also you'll be able to delete it and also customize it whenever you want to. And get at the bottom, and you can see this option over here, enable similar usage clusters and find usage view. Turn this on and keep it 100. Okay. And then we also have hide floating toolbar. You can also hide it up, but as I don't want it to, I'm just going to keep it just the way it is. Go off the key mapping. You can select up whichever folders you have, whichever plugins you want to apply. And then we're going to go off the tools over here. And we also have a couple of these tools options. All of these settings, which you see are basically your preferences and how you want the workspace of Python or PyCharm to be. If you don't want to work with it, you can just press on cancel, or you can just go on apply or make a new project. One thing you're going to do over here is one of the main thing about languages and frameworks. Just go off over here and you have all of these options over here, configure the settings related. Now, from here, what you're going to do is open up Django and get PyCharm Professional. You have this option over here. If you want to get off the Professional, you'll be able to customize each and every one of these languages and frameworks which you have available. It's not basically about using whichever language you want to use, but it's going to be about which computer language you want to work with and how you want to customize it. Okay. So I'm going to press on cancel because I have all of the things applied already. And in default on the newer version, which is 13.12 or 3.12, all of them are based and also applied to the most optimized state of the workspace. Okay. So let's just go off the project. And now the first thing which you have to do to open up a new project is click on new project. Click on that button and basically you will see where you want to save it. So now you can see this is being saved on users met PyCharm projects. There we go. And you can name up your project. Let's say it's going to be named new. Okay. And over here, one of the most important thing which you have to select is the Python version. Now, on an older version of Python, you'll basically see there's going to be 4 different types of Pythons. Okay. And over here, what you're going to basically select is 13.12. So click on that. You can see this is going to download and install on your device. Oh, so always just try to use the 13 or let's say the 3.12, which is the newest version. You can also try for 3.11. That's also totally fine. Just I would suggest you do not go anywhere near 2. Okay. But if you are on a Mac OS, you will basically see by default, it's going to be 2.11 or 2.6. So try just using 3.12, which is basically the latest version running on right now. And we also have create a new welcome script. You can also turn it off and on anytime you want. And after selecting or fixing up all of these, just press on create and you'll basically see the workspace will open up on its own. It will just take a bit of time to open up 3.12.3 AMD64 EXE on your device, and it's preparing for the installation. Okay, so wait just for a bit until this has been installed on your device and the workspace will open up. And I'm going to show you how you'll be able to, just write yourself a Python code and run it on your device. Now on my screen, you can see that we have already opened up our workspace. Now you can see we have the file where it is being saved, and we also have extended libraries and all. So I'm going to show you about the workspace first. You can see on the left side, we have the folder where we already have it opened. Then you can go after the project. If you have like multiple projects opened up, you'll basically see it over here. And on the third one, it just allows you to apply bookmarks, find it, run it, debug it. If you're an older version, such as 3.10 or 3. And on the last one, you can see we have the three dot. It just allows you to apply bookmarks, find it, run it, debug it. If you're on an older version, such as 3.10, 3.9, 3.6, you'll basically see them at the top over here. All of these are going to be like ribbons, which you see in common softwares. So basically, this is right over here. So make sure to find it and use it. And we also have like a couple of shortcut keys assigned to each and every one. So I'm going to show you how you're going to be running them. At the bottom, we have the Python option. It just helps you to run the console over here. Interpreted and not selected like yet. So you just basically have to select the versions. And then we have is the Python packages. If you have like packages or plugins, you'll be able to open up over here. And then we have is the run platform. It just allows you to apply whichever services you want. Then we have is the local one, which you'll be able to type in over here too, and also print them out. You can basically see this is the new file, which is already opened up. And we also have about the info about the file. You also have services, project errors, and also vulnerable departments or dependencies. And the last one we have is the version control. So just make sure to use the 3.12 or whichever new ones you have. And now when you want to open up or write yourself up a new file, first thing you have to do is basically go off over here, click on this one or this option over here, or click on this, and you're going to basically just open up a new one. You can also open up a new one just by clicking on this button over here. And then we have this run option. You're going to run it, but basically you have to open yourself up a new one. Okay. So first off, we have this new over here, and you can also click on these options over here. You have these options over here, current file, edit configuration. You can apply whichever like projects or whichever codes you want to run to. Okay. The first thing you have to do is click on this new option over here on file, click on new project or new. It's basically up to you. Press on this new option, click on the version over here. You can also open them up. But if you want to open up, let's say new, I'm going to click on that and select up the Python file. So when you click on Python file, it's just going to say or where you want the file to be. So the name is going to be, let's say new, that's it. And click on Python file. There we go. Now we have opened ourselves up the IDE for running our Python, which is .py file. Now over here, you can put in whatever commands you want, but it's going to require specific keywords for running them. So I'm just going to show you something. Let's say I'm going to put it print over here, open the parentheses. I'm going to put in double quotation. I'm going to put in hello world. Okay. And if you just go off over here on the three dots and press on run, you'll basically see over here, you can see running the application, launch, run configuration. Okay. To run the code, you have to follow all of these options over here, select run in the editor and launch a run configuration. So you have to apply new. Let's say I'm going to put in Python over here, unnamed. I'm going to put in new over here. The interpreter, this is still not selected. And on the script, click on module. And you have to put in the code competition or completion available. And you can see valid Python interpreter is still not applied. So you're going to turn that on and you're going to run the application again. And it will like just print up all of the things which you require. So now I've just basically shown you just what kind of commands it could be. And this is one of the most basic one. In our next lesson, I'm going to show you how are you going to fix out the run configuration files and how you're going to run them on this specific panel or the workspace. So thank you for watching this video up till the very end and hope you understood about everything in this class. If you still have any confusion about how the workspace functions and how you'll be able to work on with it, just make sure to not skip any part, and I'm going to show you each and every one of these steps, step by step in each and every class. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of Python.